Welcome back to another Story Time Online. Thanks for joining with us yesterday. I hope you had as much fun as I had making sounds. Today we're going on a little bit of adventure in a motor car. So I hope that you are seated comfortably, have your favorite blanket or pillow or stuffed animal, and let's get ready to go on this adventure. Today's book is Mr. Gumpy's Motor Car by John Burningham. And if you look at the cover here, I think we're in for a bit of adventure, not just with humans, but with lots of different animals that I think we're going to meet in this story. So see if you can see one animal in this and say it out loud now. I definitely see a goat, and I really like goats. So I hope we get to meet this goat in the story. Mr. Gumpy's Motor Car. Mr. Gumpy was going for a ride in his car. Does this car look like your car that you have at home? That your parents drive, or maybe a friend drives? Is there maybe something a little bit different about it? Or maybe not. He drove out of the gate and down the lane. And right here in this illustration, Mr. Gumpy is actually filling up his car with gasoline. The illustration's a little light, so it's hard to see. But gasoline is needed to make a car go. So he would definitely need that to make sure his car was full of gasoline before going on any sort of adventure. Okay, so Mr. Gumpy is leaving his house. As he's leaving, "May we come too?" said the children. "May we?" said the rabbit, the cat, the dog, the pig, the sheep, the chickens, the calf, and the goat. All right, so here are all of them. Let's see if we can identify some of these animals together. There might be some that you would recognize, and there might be some that you don't recognize. So we have here a cat in the tree. What about this one? Is that chicken? How about this? This is the calf for the cow. We have a sheep here. Here's a goat, a rooster, a pig, a rabbit, and this looks like it might be an opossum. It might be something else, but it looks like an opossum to me. And here are the two children. Were you able to get most of these animals that I pointed out? I hope so. "All right," said Mr. Gumpy, "but it will be a squash." And they all piled in. So he means it's going to be pretty crowded in that car, as you can see. Luckily, he has the top down. I don't know if all those animals would fit in there without the top being down in that car. Do we see any more animals? We see a cat, and a pig, and a rooster, and a cow. "It's a lovely day," said Mr. Gumpy. "Let's take the old dirt road across the field." All right, so we're driving down the dirt road. Let's hope nothing happens. For a while, they drove along happily. The sun shone, the engine chugged, and everyone was enjoying the ride. So here are some more animals. We see some cows. In the car again, we see our friend the cat and the pig, and perhaps the dog that I thought was a possum before. "I don't like the look of those clouds. I think it's going to rain," said Mr. Gumpy. "What do you think? Do you think it might rain? Or do you think they might be okay? Do you think it will be a problem if it rains because the top of their car is down? How do you think they might stay dry if it does rain?" Very soon the dark clouds were right overhead. Mr. Gumpy stopped the car. He jumped out, put up the top, and down came the rain. Okay, so here he is. It's a little hard to see in this light illustration. He is putting the top back on the car. Thank goodness, because I think all those animals would get very wet. So here you can see the top of the car, the roof of the car, He put it up. The road grew muddier and muddier, and the wheels began to spin. Mr. Gumpy looked at the hill ahead. "Some of you will have to get out and push," he said. Have you ever been in a car that got stuck in the mud? And you can see here a little bit, there is mud that is flying out of this car that is trying to make it up this little hill. But with the rain, sometimes the ground becomes muddy, especially because they're on a dirt path. Uh-oh, I see what's coming. "Not me," said the goat. "I'm too old." "Not me," said the calf. "I'm too young." "Not us," said the chickens. "We can't push." "Not me," said the sheep. "I might catch a cold." "Not me," said the pig. "I've a bone in my trotter." "Not me," said the dog. "But I'll drive if you like." "Not me," said the cat. "It would ruin my fur." "Not me," said the rabbit. "I'm not very well." "Not me," said the girl. "He's stronger." "Not me," said the boy. "She's bigger." So everybody is pointing at everybody else to help. So did we actually hear from anybody that is willing to help Mr. Gumpy? I think the only person that maybe said they would help would be the dog, but he said he might drive. So still not willing to help push, which I don't know if that's very nice. The wheels churned. So here in this illustrations, the wheels are going all around and around, trying to move forward the car, and it is just spewing dirt and mud everywhere, and the car is stuck. The car sank deeper into the mud. "Now we're really stuck," said Mr. Gumpy. They all got out and pushed. Oh boy. So if you think you're pushing in the mud, do you think everybody is going to stay clean? Or do you think maybe they might get a little dirty, as you can see here in this picture? I think they might get a little dirty, but that's just me. They pushed and shoved and heaved and strained and gasped and slipped and slithered and squelched. Slowly the car began to move. "Don't stop," cried Mr. Gumpy. "Keep it up. We're nearly there." Everyone gave a mighty heave and the tires gripped. Well, isn't that good? I'm really glad everybody is pushing the car together. The car edged its way to the top of the hill. They looked up and saw that the sun was shining again. It began to get hot. So look, the car is going up the hill. And because it became warm out and the sun was shining, they put the top back down. "We'll drive home across the bridge," said Mr. Gumpy. "Then you can go for a swim." And they did. After a while, it was time to go home. I bet they need to clean up after being in all that mud. "Goodbye," said Mr. Gumpy. "Come for a drive another day." And that is it. So I think there's a really important lesson in this book about teamwork. So you can see that at first, not all the animals really wanted to help at all. And then when they decided to all help Mr. Gumpy push his car out of the mud, they were able to successfully help continue on with their day and get him out of a bit of trouble that they would have been before stuck in the mud. So just think about teamwork and how it's important for everybody to pitch in, even from the littlest of the chickens to the boy and the girl. So thank you so much for listening to Mr. Gumpy's adventure today and learning a little bit about his motor car. We have a special activity that goes along with this, some coloring sheets of different cars from our collection some of them look a little bit like this car and some are a little bit different. So feel free to find those on our website, and we'll link to it also on our Facebook page. And again, feel free to join us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Thanks so much.